everybody. I'm Pamela. This is Sarah. Hello. And this is Randy.
Hi.
And we are 2002, and we wanted to thank you for coming to our CD release party. Since we can't have a real one, we're having a virtual one. We've got some super fun guests, and we'll be giving away some autographed copies of the new CD, Celtic Fairy Dream. And we're going to be premiering a video of 3 songs we just recorded, that we just performed. And we'll also be heading into Studio A later on in the show and playing a couple live unplugged songs for you. So I hope you stick around for the whole show. And our first guest, we've got Michael Whalen here from Mindstream Label Group. We've got Donna Jo Thornton from The Morning Breeze and RJ Lannon from Artisan Music Reviews. And there's so much more about these folks than that we'll get into a little bit later. But first, we're going to bring Mr. Whalen up. This is Michael Whalen. Hi, Michael.
Hey, guys.
Michael is a 2-time Emmy Award winner, BMI Award winner, and Grammy-nominated composer and music supervisor. He's a veteran of more than 800 TV and film scores, thousands of commercials, and numerous TV themes, and even video games. And he's also a world-renowned recording artist and producer. He's got 33 solo and soundtrack recordings out there. And he has a song, I know you know it, I Have Loved You for 1,000 Lifetimes, with 37 million streams on Spotify, millions of views on YouTube. It's just insane. He's known for his gorgeous melodies and textures, and he's an expert at all things music business. And he also is a noted speaker on the music business and the future of it. And on top of all that, he's an adjunct professor at 4 major universities. He's a Yamaha artist. Keep Warner. What else, Michael? What am I leaving out? You're amazing. You're awesome.
Well, you forgot my day job, which is that I'm the general manager of Mindstream, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm like exhausted now. Oh my god. But when you guys asked me to talk tonight and to sort of kind of kick off tonight, I was really honored, because you guys are fantastic. And I'm really happy to be here for the virtual online celebration of Celtic Fairy Dream. So, like Pam said, most of you know me as an artist, but tonight I'm not an artist. Tonight I am talking in my capacity as the general manager and the head of A&R for Mindstream. So at Mindstream, we are so proud to have 2002 on our roster. Like, it is so, we're so happy to have them. Because what Mindstream is a music company where the best artists in the world are creating music that people use in their daily mindful lifestyles. So, like, whatever that is. And and this new album is just is perfect. It's a perfect example of, I'm in lockdown quarantine and I want to just float away for an hour. I'm just going to put on, Celtic Fairy Dream, and I'm just going to float away. The wonderful musician and reviewer, Michael Diamond, described 2002 as the first family of New Age music. And I would absolutely say that's true. So I have been, and I don't even think, I've talked to you guys about this, I have been a fan of your music, of 2002's music, since really the early 2000s, when I heard Across an Ocean of Dreams for the first time. Wow. And I was totally knocked out by how you took familiar sounds and instrumentation, things that other people had done, but you had created a very unique sound of your own. And I mean, speaking as an artist, I would say that the toughest and the most important thing to do as an artist is to create a unique musical voice. And so you guys have a recorded history that goes on for almost 30 years. And I think you've done more than just create a musical signature. You've created a formidable body of work. It's chart topping, it's award winning. And I think it's interesting because you guys call, Celtic Fairy Dream a sequel to Celtic Fairy Lullaby. But I think as people dive in under the surface of this record, I think they're going to find out that it's way more than a sequel to anything. And I think the reason why is Sarah. I think on this particular record, with Sarah stepping up and taking on really most of the lead vocal work, I think what 2002 is now is a band that's comprised of three equal people. So instead of being two parents and a kid, now it's three adults working at a very, very, very high level, creating amazing music. And the thing that I'm really excited about is, like, Sarah's this young woman, and I think now that you guys are about to walk into, sorry, your fourth decade as recording artists,
Oh no.
like an amazing possibility that is out there. So I am very, very, very proud to call you guys friends, and I'm very excited about this new record. I'm very happy that we're working on it together, collaborating on it. Um, so now I'm gonna turn it over to you guys. You guys recorded 3 songs earlier today in your studio, and I, just can't wait to be hanging out for the rest of the party tonight.
Awesome. Thank you for coming to our
Thank
party.
you so much, Michael. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, I'm Pamela. This is Sarah.
Hello.
And that's Randy over there.
Hi, how you doing?
And we are 2002. We're here to play you some songs from our new album, Celtic Fairy Dream. This first one is called Castle of Dromore, and basically it's a lullaby. There may be dangers outside, but there is peace and safety within the castle walls.
The October winds lament around the castle of Dromore. Yet peace is in her lofty halls. A foster upon the stone. The autumn leaves may droop and die, a part of spring Sing Hashabai, la Hashabai. Sing Hashabai,
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
This next song is also from our new album, and it's called Swantrai, which means lullaby. And Sarah will be singing this in Irish and in English.
Oh
Thank you. This next song is not on the album. We're going to surprise you with this one, and you're probably wondering where we are. We are in our home studio here in North Texas, and normally when we perform, we have lots of other musicians on stage with us, but that's not really possible right now, so it's just the three of us, and we decided to bring you one from the vault. So this is an oldie. Let's see if you know what it is. Thank you so much. And hopefully now you will join us in the control room. We'll be moving there in just a few moments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am so excited to be able to say we're giving away a copy of Celtic Fairy Dream to the first person who can name the, going forward, the title of the third song that was just played. So be the first one to type it in, going forward now.
All right.
Good luck.
Are we watching?
Are we watching?
That for me. All right. So, Tim, can you keep an eye on that for me?
Absolutely.
All right. So I wanted, we are 2002. We're here in our control room, and I wanted to introduce our next guest. This is Donna Jo Thornton from the Morning Breeze. And it was in 1997 that Donna Jo began her journey as the music director and host of the Morning Breeze radio program. And it's the same year that we joined the Real Music label and came out with our album, Chrysalis. And we could not imagine the past 23 years without Donna Jo in our lives. She's just been part of our family. But I just found out recently that our paths actually crossed for 1997. And Donna Jo, maybe you can tell us about that. She had a life-altering event. You were told you would never walk again. And there was a couple of albums that put you back on your feet and brought you to where you are today and the path you're on today and the amazing things you're doing today. So why don't you tell us about that?
Well, it was a car accident, an incident that put me in the hospital, and they told me that I would never walk again. And during that period of time that I was laid up in the hospital, I was listening to two albums that I'd had in the car with me when I was headed out that morning. And the one that I had from you was Wings and Hilary Stagg's Edge of Forever. And I listened to those over and over again as I visualized myself healing and as I felt myself getting back into the world. And it took a while, but I'll tell you that that music lifted me up. And there was an interesting coincidence because I had had an appointment to talk with the folks at KSBR about the different music they were playing and that I might be able to offer them to some suggestions that would be useful. And those were the albums that I had in the car. So those were the ones that I had planned to share with them. And here we are, you know, this much later. After I'd gotten out of the hospital, I went back to school to, you know, recuperate, if you will, and to get back on my feet, rehab. And the rest is history. I fell in love with KSBR and bringing this music to everyone each weekend to inspire them into creativity and to help find that peaceful place within where you can actually know who you are in your heart. You know what I mean? When you really get quiet and have a chance to listen deeply. And I feel like that is a gift that I give each weekend to people who join me on the Morning Breeze. And it's a gift that I give to myself each weekend too. So you guys have been a cornerstone of the playlist that I've had since the very beginning. And before I was ever at KSBR, I was playing it for my clients as a hypnotherapist. So in the backdrop, helping them to get into a relaxed place and to be able to accept the changes that they were moving into. So you guys are really a very powerful healing tool in a lot of ways, and you don't even realize it. But you're giving that gift to everyone who listens to each album each and every time that they turn it on. So it's as fresh today as it was 20 years ago, and it'll be fresh in 20 years for whoever's listening then. And that's the legacy that I see the 2002 bringing forward into the world, is the music that you've been creating and the music that you will be creating to help bridge this shift that we're going through. It's such a powerful thing. Thank you.
Thank you,
Well,
Donna
thank you
Jo.
so much. And can you tell everybody out there when your show is on during the weekends? Because you're on both days, right? On Saturday and Sundays.
Exactly. So from 6 a.m. Pacific time until noon on Saturday and Sundays now. And we just have a lot of beautiful guests. We're going back into the archives of some of my favorite artists to bring forth their catalogs of music, and we're going to be doing that with you too. So people can tune in and maybe catch an in-depth reprise of the music and the story behind it, and that'll be fun.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Donna Jo. Really appreciate you being here at our party.
Oh, hey, thank you for being the party. This is great. That powerful, powerful album.
Thank
Very,
you.
very talented people. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Well, do we have a winner, Tim, of that CD? Jeremy Mark McFarland.
Jeremy Mark McFarland.
All right.
Congratulations.
We will need your address if you want to send us a private Facebook message. We'll get that CD in the mail to you on Monday when the post office opens.
Congratulations,
Awesome.
Jeremy.
We'll be giving away some more. So we also have another special guest here today. This is RJ Lannon from Artisan Music Reviews. And I mean, it would be impossible for me to condense his life down into a paragraph. He's been doing this for a really long time. He's an author of short stories, novels, poetry. He wrote for Wind and Wire magazine way back in '99. I bet you all remember that one. And he went on to write for New Age Reporter, which is now his own music reporter. But the coolest thing he's doing right now is this massive project on, he's basically creating a 10-part documentary on the history of New Age music. And it's called Orphan Music, The Incomplete History of New Age Music. And he's tracking the origins of New Age music and other genres all the way back to the beginning, which is like, I mean, this is going to take you a long time to finish, RJ, I bet. But you want to tell us a little bit about the Orphan Music Project? Uh-oh. Technology. I told you there'd be trouble with it.
There we go.
There
Yeah.
he is. There's the man,
All right.
the legend.
First of all, thanks for having me here. It's a real pleasure to be in front of the first family of New Age music. Back in the '60s when we talked about great groups, we always called them supergroups. Well, this supergroup is the New Age supergroup of 2002. It's always a pleasure to be around you guys. It's always a pleasure to hear you guys. As a writer of New Age reviews, I get 150 to 200 albums a year. And I don't know why it is, but every time you guys put out a new album, I get more excited about it than just about anything. And it's just great to hear your music all the time. It suits everyone's moods, multiple moods, whether you're high or low, you're in between. The thing about it is when you get a 2002 album, it gets your attention. You want to listen to it. You want to listen to that music, and you want to be immersed in it like a baptism every time you hear one of those songs. And I truly love your music, and I thank you for it.
Thank you so much, RJ. Those were really kind words.
We actually call him Uncle RJ because he's been part of our family for a really, really long time. And gosh, we used to get to see you every year in New Orleans. So, we can't do that now, but you're going to have to come visit us soon.
I'll be glad to. It's always a pleasure to see you guys. I want to talk about the new album. I just can't tell you how happy I was to hear it, and particularly in the spiritualism of the music. I think there's something, well, of course, angelic about Sarah's voice, but there's something about the all-around music in it that it just lets you float free. You just float away, and it's just so revealing. I just absolutely love the album.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
I guess we feel the best music does that. It takes you away from whatever strife you have now and takes you and lets you be free for just that little while, that little short time that you have. And we're just glad we can do music that helps people in that way.
RJ, we thought
And you
that
do.
you might like to give away a CD today. Do
Oh,
you want to
yeah.
give away an
I
autograph?
was actually
You need a trivia
give away
question.
a CD.
So the first one,
Okay, so here's so go ahead. Are you going to ask it? Or you want me to ask it?
go for it.
Okay, I'm going to ask it. Okay, I've known 2002 for quite a long time, and I actually know the answer to this. And is what was their very first album? I believe that was back in the late '90s, '96, almost to '97. So, what was their first
No,
album?
It was before that.
92.
92, of course. Right.
I know. We're 1,000 years old.
Oh, and you
Well,
still haven't changed the name, and we're glad of it.
You still look the same as it did.
what we're going to be doing is we're hoping someone gets that last trivia question. So RJ said the very first 2002 album came out in 1992. Whoever answers that question will be popping an autographed Celtic Fairy Dream in the mail to you on Monday. And that's kind of special because Amazon's not allowed to sell them until the end of the month.
Oh, very cool.
Right. So
So
these are the
special.
first physical
Yep, someone
copies
got
that
it.
get to go out. So
Is that Mark Laird? First one? Right. Mark,
Laird.
send us your private message, us your address. We'll get that. I hope you're not in Australia because that's really expensive. So, anyway, we're going to be heading into Studio A here. We're going to be performing unplugged 2 songs for you. And while we're making our way in there and getting our harp levers set and tuned up, Tim is going to play you a video, a very short video, the making of the Celtic Fairy Dream album. So we'll turn it over to Tim.
we could describe it as New Age or even as progressive New Age, but I think that would even limit it. I think what we've done is we've blended so many different kinds of music to create 2002. Our classical background, our rock backgrounds, our pop music backgrounds, everything that we've done sort of comes to the table. It was actually a sequel to Celtic Fairy Lullaby. We had had such good success with it, so many streams and people listening to it, that we decided to make another one, hopefully embellishing on the same thing that we had started with. The approach that we took to recording Celtic Fairy Dream, which is that we recorded it essentially backwards. Normally in modern album production, you put the music down first and maybe even overdub a lot of the music and the tracks, and then the lead vocal is something that goes down at the very end. Well, the way that we did it was the opposite of that. We started, in most cases, with the lead vocal from Sarah, and we were able to take those tracks and then build the 2002 music scene around that. Essentially, we have the vocal first, and then we have the whole sort of symphony come in and accompany it after the fact. And I think that lends a certain magic to the way that we recorded the tracks and to Celtic Fairy Dream. The more stressful times become, the more we need relaxing music, to take us away from some of that stress. And it really does help. When we first did Celtic Fairy Lullaby, I was surprised at how many people were using it for sleep and for relaxation in general, but especially for sleeping at night. I never would have thought of that myself. Sleep is so important, especially during stressful times. If our music can help with that, well, then we've definitely done something good there.
Well, on the CD, it's definitely more slow music, and then live I usually do faster paced things. It's more interesting for a crowd of people, live to listen to something that's more different kinds of music within that instead of just slower Celtic music. And I play a lot more instruments live too, and then on the album I do more of just the harp, mostly. When I went to Ireland, I learned a lot about just how to play traditional music, and I learned a lot of traditional songs that I now use when I play live, and that I have brought over to the album too. Well, with a song like Glenton Glusquidor, for example, I think I originally learned that before I went to Ireland, and then I learned more of how to, more of the correct pronunciations and more ways to play it in Ireland, and I brought a lot of those ideas into the song that I put on the album.
Well, sometimes people ask, how does this kid from Texas know so much about Irish music? And she has spent half of her life studying. Sarah joined the North Texas School of Irish Music when she was only 8 years old. She studied Celtic harp, she studied fiddle there, and she worked with Karen Ballou, who's an amazing vocal coach. Karen taught Sarah songs in Irish, Scottish, Welsh, and a lot of other languages. For many years they worked together. And over the last 8 years or so, Sarah has been performing a lot, hundreds of performances with groups, Irish groups around town. She's performed solo, and she's got a lot of experience with this, and she brings that into this album. The great thing about being a family is we're together all the time, so whenever inspiration strikes one of us, it's pretty easy to get everybody together and get the job done pretty quickly. And I think that we share a lot of ideas around meals and just in the car and just places where we just happen to be together as a family. We get a lot of inspiration from each other that way. You know, it's a natural progression of that over the years as Sarah becomes more and more involved with each album. She participates more and more, and it's been really great.
The next one that we want to do, we're already working on, and that's looking like it's going to be a vocal pop record, or at least pop sensibilities. I'm thinking probably after that, we've been discussing it, and we're thinking that we may revisit our roots a little bit and go back to some really quiet instrumental music.
And here we are. We call this Studio A. We're here in our home studio again. And this first song that we're going to play for you is from our album, Celtic Fairy Dream. And the song is called She Moved Through the Fair. It's a kind of a bittersweet love story. It seems as if the two lovers are parted, but in the end, she does come to visit, and they get reunited.
My young love said to me, my mother won't mind, and my father won't slight you for your lack of kind. Then she stepped away from me, and this she did say, it will not be long, love, till our she stepped away from me, and she moved through the fair, and fondly I watched her move here and move there, as she turned her way homeward with one star awake, as the swan in the evening moves over the lake. The people were saying, no one has a sorrow that never was said, and she smiled as she passed me with her goods and her gear, and that was the last that I saw of my dear. I dreamed it last night that my true love came in. So softly she entered, her feet made no dent. She came close beside me, and this she did say, "It will not be long, love, till our wedding day."
Thank you. Well, we have another song for you, and this one is called Glinton Glasquidor. And Sarah will be singing this one in Irish. So, Eamon, I hope you're still out there.
Kids on extract we're August you it's not a gun you're Lord in Australia Już myślałeś, Leilach, kunlej, kakio insegan inai. My evig glantangas, guidores penarish, mohri.
you. We'll be heading back into the control room. We hope you will meet us there. And while we make our way back in there, we're going to play you one of our most recent music videos. This is Castle of Dromore, and I guess it's the first video from the new album. So we'll see you in just a moment.
Hi, everyone. We're back here in the control room of our studio. And that music video you just saw was from our new album, Celtic Fairy Dream. It's called The Green Fields of Autumn. We call it Coinliach for the short form of its Irish name. And we just had a question from Daryl. Where was the background shot at for that video? Well, actually, Randy, we shot most of that right. We can't have other actors because of what's going on right now, but we
Right.
shot some of it up here in Parker.
That's right. It's just 2 miles down the street from our house. We have this beautiful park, and we've been allowed to go to the parks. The funny story about that is that we didn't have anyone who could operate any of the cameras, so we took our little drone out there, and we walked out in that giant field, and we couldn't go too far away from the drone, so we had to leave him just sitting there in the middle of the air, hovering taking film and just staying there, and he got all the way through it. The little guy actually delivered.
So
and so
Randy's trying to control it and be in the video, and he's having to hide the iPhone.
Right,
I
I have to hide the phone I'm controlling it with.
It was a challenge, but I guess most of it was shot in and around Parker.
In and around Parker, yeah.
Yeah.
And most of it was.
So,
and then, of course, in our studio as well. Everyone's
true.
seen shots from that. So
backyard, a little bit of that.
A little bit of the backyard.
So everywhere. So any other questions? Oh, question. Oh gosh, we find music in everything, everywhere, every day. I mean, Randy.
Oh, the music itself is the inspiration, Jeremy. It's what keeps us going. We wake up every day and think of new tunes and think of new things that we could do. And we've been really blessed and fortunate to be able to have a great place to record and have a way of doing all of this music. So, but we're inspired by everything, and the music itself, again, inspires us.
I think Randy's about to give away another CD, so I hope you're ready to answer another trivia question.
I am. We thought about different contests that we could use and the different things that we could do to give away the CDs. And we even thought about at one point having people send in pictures, with their quarantine haircuts and stuff like that. We've seen that. I decided not to do that because I was thinking I might win my own contest, and that wouldn't be very good. So be kind of rude. So we decided we'll go ahead and just ask another simple question. This is going to be the second CD that 2002 ever put out. This would have been, I'll give you a hint, in 1995. Is that correct?
95, second
1995.
album.
It's our second album. And
so who knows the answer to this
who knows the answer?
I'm watching. And that's hard to do because it's on this little bitty laptop.
Right.
So we'll keep an eye out for that answer. Are there any other questions? I think she was about Ben Dugas.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben, by the way. At what point did you realize that Sarah was going to take your music to the next level? I think when she was about 2 or 3. What do you think?
Well, we always, as parents, being musicians ourselves, we always hoped that she would that she would join in with us at some point. We never demanded that of her. It always had to be a natural thing. But once she came up and showed us what the kind of music that she was capable of doing, we were very, very excited and feel very blessed to have her in our group.
I think she was about 3 or 4 when she told us she was going to be a singwriter.
That's
Remember
right.
That? She said,
That's
I'm
right.
going to be a singwriter. And we believed her.
We believed her. We looked at her. It was at the table one night, and we were like, wow,
Oh,
really?
okay.
All right.
I mean, she's been contributing ideas for melodies probably since she was 5 or 6. Remember when she, wasn't that one of the melodies there that she did?
It was. Should I get that? Can I?
I can get that.
Go get it. Yeah, she's been working with us for, I don't know how many years now, and she's been taking a bigger and bigger and bigger role. Yeah, this is a song that Sarah actually wrote.
And painted.
She wrote this song, or the melody for this song, when she was 8 years old. And I heard it, and I had to go do something with it. So we made it into a song, and that song became a dream creation.
There it is.
And these are the first notes of the melody.
And she painted this for you
She
for your
painted
birthday?
this for me
Was
for
this
my
a
birthday, yes.
Birthday present.
So,
Yeah.
Great song. Love that song, and love Sarah's contributions to our group.
Well, we're really appreciative that you guys were all here. Did anyone get that last trivia question?
No, not yet.
Okay, come on, folks. The second album released by 2002 was in 1995.
Google
What
is your
was the-
friend.
Google is your friend. The winner gets an autographed copy of our new CD, Celtic Fairy Dream, which is not obtainable right now from Amazon. So,
Not yet. It should be though soon, right?
yeah,
In the next
the end
2
of the
weeks.
month they'll have
Oh,
it.
okay.
So,
All
well,
right. And no more questions?
okay.
Well, I hope we can't
Well,
get a winner out of this.
I'm
Oh.
going to keep watching. Someone will come up with it, and we will be sending out those CDs. So thanks again for joining us for our party. I hope we get to see you all in real life soon. We miss everyone. So thank you for coming to our CD release party.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.